because we're like way too far away. And we're working right there. That's where we be working, 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 working. I've got a story to tell you about what I did. What I did, what I did. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Hello. That would be an ad playing on my video over here. Hang on. One moment. Let's get rid of that. Okay, there we go. All right. All right. Hey, it says we have 8 people waiting for the video. I don't know what they're waiting for. What are those 8 people waiting for? And who are they? All right. I feel like I'm 70. I'm going to have to move this. I'm like 70 miles away from my computer. So let me move this back here. That's where my chair is. Oh, now let me move the camera. We'll get it. Don't worry. We'll get it. We will get it. All right. I'm making a purse. Can you tell? I'm making a purse. All right. Okay. Let's say hello. Hello to who? To Catherine and Angela and Joyce and Sherry. Okay, you guys just hello, 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 hello to each other. There's Marion. Marion's hello, helloing to Sherry and Angela and Joyce. Hello. And there's Sue telling everybody hello, hello, hello. 92 degrees in Albuquerque. Well, that is too dang hot, Marion. Too dang hot. All right. Now, my sound is probably not as good as it is normally because I do not have my mic plugged in. I had to plug in my power cord for my phone because my phone was not charged very good. So they both take the same port, you know. I can only do one or the other. So I'm going to talk loud. Let me know if you can hear me. Hello, Joe. 93 in Arlington. You guys know you can have that 93-degree crap. You can have it. You can keep it. Keep it there. Don't send it here. Don't want it. No, no, and no. Hello, Brenda and Allison. Hello, hello. There's Gina. Hello, Gina. And Michelle. And Jennifer. Hello, hello. Hello, Linda. Linda, your painting is on the way. I hope you get it soon, okay? I hope it gets there soon. Who else? Sue Bell and Margie. And I don't think I hear and see anybody else. That's what AC is for. Yeah, but you know, we had our AC on when I got home from the craft show. It was a little warm in here, just a little kind of warm, humid kind of. It was warm today. I don't know what the temperature got up to, but it was warm. It was in the 80s probably. But the house had been closed up while we were gone, and it was, you know, I don't know, it was stuffy. Let me put it that way. It was stuffy. So I turned the air on, and Dale and I went and took a nap. we needed a nap today after the craft show today. Okay, I will say this. You know, I was at the craft show from, well, about 10, a little bit before 10 until, well, 4:30 probably. By the time we got everything packed up and in the truck and headed home, probably was 4:30. I have had the worst headache like all day. I just couldn't seem to get rid of it. And it was all like, I'll just say it was in my face, my eyes. So I think a couple things. One, it's cottonwood season around here. If you know what cottonwood is, they're trees, and it's their time to release their little, they look like, you know, dandelion fluff. When the dandelion fluff, you blow it off the dandelion, they look like that. Little white, little fluffy things floating around. So I think that was part of it. Um, And then honestly, I think the other part of it, bye, have fun. Bring me some elephant ear back. No.
Go get your own.
Yeah. Um, I think the other part of it, truthfully, is the smoke. We are having the Canadian smoke. And between the cottonwood flying around, which is their pollen, that's how they like distribute their pollen around, and the smoke, it was just wreaking havoc with my head, with my allergies, with my face, with everything. So this headache just wouldn't go away. I came home, turned on the air, crawled into bed with two cats. One cat went back outside. They were all outside while we were gone today. When we got home, they all came in, but then Smokey decided to go back out, so he's outside again somewhere. But I just laid down, the house cooled off, and took a little short nap. That's when I should have plugged my phone in, and I completely forgot to plug my phone in while I was taking my nap. But hang on, I want to grab these drills over here. Once I got cooled off, got inside in the air conditioning, took my little nap, the headache has pretty much gone away. Not 100%, but almost gone. Okay, almost gone. So, all right, I have another tray of drills here. They are 740 is the color. They are the number 2 on my canvas. So the number 2 runs all through her hair. Angela asked what I was working on. It's Tiger Lovin' Tessa. Tiger Lovin' Tessa. Well, I was messing around with the coffee mug. Can you see the mug? Yeah, you can see the mug. I was messing around with the coffee mug. I debated doing all coral reef sparklers, but I thought, no, that would be too bright and shiny. I didn't want that. But I wanted some extra bling, and I wanted bling that made sense on this little tiger cub mug. Tiger cub mug, yeah. All right. Hello, Leona. So I started putting some little sparklers in here. So there's some here, like around the stripes to kind of accent the stripes. There's a few like down here, like accenting its cheeks. I had a few more, but then it started to look weird. It started to look like the poor little guy had measles or something, and that was wrong. That didn't look right. So he's got 2 in his eyes, the corner of his eyes here, and then a few here right between his eyes on top of his nose, like that kind of look like little like freckles, like where his whiskers would come out maybe. All right. So I did that. I played around with that for way too long. Way too long. And then I filled in the orange. Okay? Then I filled in the orange. Hi, Shannon. Well, I finished it. And I had a release paper covering the handle. So I got this part done. All right. When I uncovered this part and moved on to the handle over here, I was like, well, that's a different color. Why is that a different color than this? They shouldn't be different, right? No, they shouldn't. So this is supposed to be 7. It's 7 is the symbol, not 2. I was putting down the 2s, which is a much lighter, brighter orange than this one. I did all of the mug in the wrong color. The whole thing, except the handle, because the handle was still covered. So then I looked at it and I went, well, I'll be darned. It is wrong. It is wrong. And I'm like, and I can't leave it on there because the 2 is prominent in her hair. In her hair is filled with the two, the brighter orange. If I would have left it on here, I would not have had enough of the two to do her hair, right? So I had to pull them all off. I had to pull them all off. And that was not fun. So I did that yesterday. I've wasted so much time on this painting just messing with this mug. It's ridiculous. Okay? I could have had like 2 more sections of this painting done if it wasn't for this little mug here. Anyhow, I got them off yesterday. Got the new ones back on yesterday. I like the mug the way it is now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, Allison's got a storm kicking her butt. Oh, no, not a real storm. The painting, the summer storm. Oh, yeah, okay. Hi, Brandy. Brandy's here. Hello, Brandy. So, yeah, that was fun. Put them on. They're wrong. Take them off. Put the new ones back on. Now we're moving on. So now we're moving on over here to the purse. We're on the purse. But here, of course, are my drills that I took off. And of course, you know what they're going to look like. They are just a gluey, clumpy mess. So, I know I'm going to need to use them. So I'm going to just start picking some apart here because I need a few right here because here's where her hair starts. Right up here in this corner, her hair starts. So I'm just going to start single placing, grabbing some, separating them from the gluey mess that we have. And see, like those two were stuck together. I'm going to make them work right there and put them on here. Yep, that's what we're going to do. Before I dump out any new ones, let's try to use up these sticky, icky ones. What a hot mess I made of my life here. You know? Oh well, it is what it is. So, anyhow, that's where I'm at with Tiger Lovin' Tess. Anybody else have any fun stories about how their painting's going? Because, mine couldn't be any more interesting, I don't think. So, all right. As I explained, and maybe didn't explain it as well as I should have, for this event, there is me and Kara and Brandy, and we all have a painting to give away. And just the way things fell, we decided to give everybody the first 2 weeks to just get going. Just get going. Get a picture posted of your painting that you're working on. We're not going to do our first giveaway. Hello, Kathy. We're not going to do our first giveaway until next week on the 14th, on my birthday. It's my birthday next weekend. So that's what we're going to do. Okay? All right, now I need to find the 4. Now we're moving on to a new color. Hopefully I don't mess this up again. These oranges, though, there's so many oranges, and I'm just like, ugh. And I have 741 AB. I have 742 AB. I've used a little bit. I had the Coral Reef Sparklers. I've used those a little bit. These are all orangish colors. Oh boy. All right. Pulling cat hair off the painting. Oh, nice. Nice. That does not sound like fun, Angela. Not any fun at all. Can you lint roll a diamond painting? I don't know. So we're giving everybody 2 weeks to get a start photo posted in Diamond Moments and Crafts Facebook. Okay? And that post this first week post is just going to stay open for 2 weeks. Just going to leave the same one open all the way through not the 14th, but the 13th. The 13th. I will close the comments on it when I go to bed the evening of my birthday eve, I will close the comments when I go to sleep. So it's probably going to be like 10:30, 11 o'clock, right? So make sure within the next week you have a photo of your painting, okay? The only person who did not have a photo, and I knew was not going to have a photo, was Linda, because she doesn't have it yet, because I've sent it to her and I have no idea how long it will take to get to her. No idea how long it'll take to get to her. So, spaghetti. We had that the other night. We had spaghetti twice, because, you make spaghetti sauce, you make a lot of sauce, right? It's good for a couple times for Dale and I. Brandy, did you find the one you were looking for? I know you were looking for the waterfall. Did you find it? I guess we'll find out soon enough. Did Brandy find the waterfall? Is that what she's working on? I don't know. We'll find out. All right. Oh, 741. Now see, I have 741 as an AB. Do I want to? It's in the hair. It's all in the hair. So, okay, let's analyze this. Okay, here we go again. Here's where I get myself in trouble. Here is where I get myself in trouble. Yes, Margie, and I still have to post yours. Don't worry, I will. Thank you, Allison. Anyone has Peacock? Oh, it's a TV show? Okay. I don't have Peacock. I don't have anything like that. I have none of that. The 11th. Okay. Saying the 11th. Oh, it's been gone for days. It takes a while to get there. She lives in Canada. So anyhow. Well, you can do that, Joe. Freeze your sauce. But Dale and I will just save it, It's good for 2 times for us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, you didn't find it. Okay, let's analyze the hair. So we have 741 in the hair, which is, I have that in an AB. The 2 is 740. I don't have that in an AB. Then there's red. I have red that's an AB. Now, would that be too many ABs to run through this hair? What do you think? I don't think there's anything else. No other special drills, and there's 742 as well. So I have these 3 choices for ABs that are all in the hair. 2 oranges, 1 red in the hair. And there's a crystal in the hair. A yellow crystal in the hair. So what would you do? Tell me, what would you do if you wanted to put some extra shiny stuff in her hair? It's got the yellow crystal. There's not a lot of the yellow crystal. I mean, there's not a lot. Okay. There's some like here. There's like a strand and a strand, just a strand here or there of the yellow crystal. So I'm thinking for sure I want to do the red. I think. Actually, there's a lot of the red. Can you see all the red? Can you see the red? It's like here and here and here. There's a lot of red. Do I want to do the red? If I wanted to do the red, I'd need to come down here and do those few right there, because that's the red as well. So yellow crystal, one of these colors. I don't want this to look, gaudy. I don't want it to look gaudy. There are no ABs in the hair. No ABs in the hair. No. Just that crystal. There is a yellow AB somewhere, but it's not in the hair. No, not in the hair. Just the yellow crystal in the hair. So the red is, it's 321 red. So it's that one that's kind of close to, it's close to 666, a little more, deeper red. Oh, except this is the one. Okay, how many are actually in here? I found square drills in here. Okay, I guess there's not very many. I don't know. Somehow some square 321s got in here. I don't know how that happened. So I don't know if I actually would have enough of these. Because, I mean, there's hair over here. And there's hair over here. We got a lot of hair. I don't know if I'd have enough of these. I don't know. What about the red AB around the outside? Some in the middle around her face. I don't know. I definitely want to do one of the oranges. How about I pick the one I have the most of? How's that? Pick the one that I have the most of, which is this one, which is the more yellowy one. Okay, let's see. How do you like planning with me? Here's the yellow crystal. I don't know how much this will show up for you guys. Yellow crystal, the orangey yellow AB, or the orangey AB. Okay, let's see. How much of this one is there? How much of 742 is there? 742 is the number 1. And it goes here. It goes next to the crystal there. Over there. How about the 742? No, wait, hang on. I got them backwards. No, 742 is the 1. 741 is this little arrow. There's a lot of those. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Start at the root and stagger through the middle and down. How do I do that, Brenda? How do I do that? I don't know. I'm starting at the bottom. I can't start at the top and come down because I'm at the bottom going up. Right? And the one thing I do know I want to do is something fun around her glasses. Something fun around her glasses. For sure. The glasses have got to be like blingy, blingy, you know? Oh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What's in her glasses? Let's check out her glasses. They're way up here. What goes in the glasses? The yellow crystal is in the rim of the glasses. And the 741 is in her glasses. So we got yellow crystal, and if I did this, we'd have orange AB and yellow crystal in her glasses. So I don't think I'm going to use this one. I'm going to save this for her glasses. That leaves us with this one and the red for her hair and the yellow crystal. Oh, goodness. Use AB for the highest one. Right, Joe? You don't want to think about it. I know. I have no idea, Brenda. I have no idea how I would do that. No idea. There's a lot of red in her hair. And I just don't know if I have enough of these. I mean, I could always order more, but, would I get them in time? I mean, maybe by the end of the month. Maybe. No. Oh, Allison, from the anniversary sale I did, yes. I did get a couple from the anniversary sale. And I haven't put those videos out yet. I only have one of them recorded, actually. Okay, make a decision. Time to make a decision. Well, I don't have to decide yet because I'm not, well, I do because I'm in the hair right here. And that's one of the colors. Which one is it? Which one is it? It's 741. Okay, I decided I'm not doing that one. Not doing 741. Not doing 741. 742 is the, I'm going to do 742. I'm going to do 742, which is the number one. I'm not going to do the red because there's too much. I'm going to do the yellow crystal and this orange. Those are the ones I'm going to do for her hair. Okay. Decision made. Decision is made. So these are going to be for her hair. Hair. You come over here. Those two are going to be in her glasses. All right, I got it. Glasses are going to be different than what I put in her hair. Got it. Got it, got it, got it. Okay. Don't let me forget that. Don't let me forget what I just said I'm going to do. Okay? Don't let me forget. Some orange AB in the hair for highlights, crystals and ABs in her glass. Well, the crystals are in her hair. That's already charted in her hair. So, I mean, I'm not changing that. The crystals are in there. So, I'm going to leave the crystals because they're charted. And then we'll add that AB. That's what we're going to do, folks. Just don't let me forget. Are you going to be with me throughout the week to remind me, everybody, what I'm doing? Don't let me forget. Don't let me forget, okay? Anyhow, well, that is my painting. That is the event. That's what we're doing, okay? So I'm going to just leave these in my tray because we're ready to go to this next section, and I know there's more of this color over here. So let's take off this release paper. We're going to finish up the purse. Oh my. What is on the purse? What is on the purse? What is this? What is this right? What's that right there? What is that supposed to be? I don't know. I can't tell from the sticker what that's supposed to be. I don't know what that is. No, I write a note. There you go, Margie. Write a note. Oh boy. Bye, Linda. It's something, but I can't tell what it is on the picture. Cannot tell. All right. So let's finish up this color over here. This 741 color. Excuse me. All right. So, besides my headache from allergies and smoke and smog and pollen, the craft show. That's what I did today. Craft show. So there's a group. I won't tell you their name. Not that it matters to you, because none of you live in Michigan. None of you would even know. But there's these two ladies. They've formed a group and they organize these craft shows, right? And I think she said today that they did 10 last year, but they don't want to do as many this year because now they have a store. So they got a storefront. So it's like a consignment shop, for crafters. Consignment shop for crafters. You pay your little monthly rent your space, your shelf, whatever it is. And then they get 5% of whatever the sales were. Okay, got it. All right. So, my question is this her hair? Where those ones are? Because the H's are the crystals. That's her hair. I just said I'm going to do the 742 in her hair, right? I just said that, 742 in her hair. So the ones, I got to do the ones. Is that her hair down there? That can't be her hair way down there, though. I wish this picture was bigger. I wish the picture was bigger. Let's see. I honestly don't think this is her hair. No, that is not. No, we're not doing it there. That's not her hair. That's like part of the bag, like the clasp or something for the bag. So we're only going to count the hair like from here up. We're only going to call it hair from that point up. Oh, goodness gracious. Why am I doing this again? Why? Remind me. Why? Why? I don't know why. Okay, I'm going to do the ones right now because I just decided this is the purse, not her hair. Oh, goodness. Um, Bye, Angela. Hello, Bassin Girl Crafts. Hello, hello. I do have the sticker, but look, it's little tiny, tiny, Brenda. You can't see hardly anything on it. It's not a very good guide. It's not a very good guide. Let's just put it that way. Okay. Anyhow, these ladies, they now have their store. And so she said they don't think they're going to do as many shows as they did last year. Last year, I did 2 of their shows. Yes, I did 2. I did one that was around Halloween time, and it was like a witches day out in town or something like that. And I did very average there. I made my fee back and a few bucks, but very average. The other show I did with them last year was like a fall show. It was all Christmassy time stuff. And I did terrible, terrible at that show. Terrible. So I did 2 shows with them last year. Let me just say, okay, neither one of them were great. Okay. One was okay. I made a little bit of money. One, terrible. Well, I thought this was part of Art in the Park in this little town of Eaton Rapids. And I thought, okay, it's an event. Events in the towns usually bring out people. They bring out people. You know what I'm saying? They bring out some people. Well, today was not a people-y kind of day, apparently. I mean, there was a small stream of people that came through, but nothing nothing to write home about. So within the first hour, okay, I will say this, the first hour I made a sale. I made a sale to a cute little girl who fell in love with, and some of you may remember it was my Minnie and Mickey diamond painting. That thing was from my very first Amazon order. My very first Amazon order. So you know how old it is. It's old. Okay? Old, old, old. Been around forever. But it's one that I put onto a canvas, the canvas. I painted it. I painted the canvas pink, just obnoxiously pink. Glued the painting on there, and then embellished the poop out of the thing. It had stickers and it had little pieces of glitter on it, and it was embellished. Let me just say. Well, this little girl fell in love with it, and she kept looking at her mom going, I would like that on my wall. And so her mom bought it for her. $15. All right, $15. I was like, after that sale, I was like, oh my gosh, Dale, that made me happy right there to just sell that thing, and it's gone. It's gone. When something that's that old sells, you're just like, oh, yay. No, there's a few things in my stash that are like that I take to these shows. Like last show we did, last minute, I sold that apron. The apron that had a owl diamond painted on the front of it. Last minute sale, sold the owl. Oh, We could do this in AB. This okay, let's do that in red AB. Why not? Because we're only going to do a little bit around the glasses. No, we're not going to do the glasses with the red. We're going to, I don't know what we're doing now. We're going to do this, whatever this thing is. Whatever I don't know why there are squares in here. Why are there squares? I don't understand. Where did the square ones come from? And they're pretty heavily mixed in here. But we're going to make these ABs. Why not? I can't multi-place them. I just can't because there's too many squares in there. So let's single place it. But yeah, when you get rid of something that you've just had forever and ever and you sell it, it's like, oh, yay, yay, you know? So it's gone. Anyhow, the fee was $35. I told Dale, I said, we're off to a great start. I said, if I sold a $15 item every hour, I'd be doing good. Did I? No. Did I sell any more $15 items? No. Did I sell any more items at all? No. No, I did not. I sold nothing else at this show except that painting. So today I took a loss of $20 to just go sit there today. Yep, today was one of those days I took a loss. Today was also a day when I learned some things. One thing I learned is, probably the most important thing I learned was, I will not do another craft show that these ladies have organized. I've done 3 now, and they're just not successful for me anyhow. And she even said, as the organizer, so what she did, her booth today was stuff from the store. So she went through the store and she grabbed like an item or two from this person on consignment, this person on consignment, this person, you know. So she had a variety of all of their customers, not customers, their renters of space over at their store. She just brought a little bit of everybody's stuff. And she sold none of it. She was like, yeah, I just don't know. People don't even come in. They're not even walking into the booth to look at things. She said, I don't know. She said, all I can do is advertise, and we try to get the traffic here. We can't make people come in and buy. I said, no, you cannot. So even she was a little frustrated because she sold nothing that she brought from the store and brought it over there. So I learned no more shows put on by that group. Sorry, they're nice ladies, but I'm not having any success with their shows. Okay? So I learned that today. That was probably my biggest lesson today. But I do watch Cameron's Cute Creations on YouTube. She is phenomenal at her markets and selling her product and making money, making a living doing it. She does really well. And she's very smart. And she always says, you know, you're always doing your best, you know, don't beat yourself up. You've done the best you can do. You've prepared as well as you can prepare. And every show, even if you don't sell things, even if you don't feel like you sold things, you're learning. You've learned something by doing the show. Okay? And it's totally true. Totally true. You learned something. I also learned about other shows from other people while I was there. So I learned about a show on the 4th of July that I'm going to try to do. And a lady was just wandering through, and this is how I got into another show one time. This lady's just wandering through and she stopped and she was looking at everything and she was super nice. Hello, Emma. She was super nice. And she's just wandering through and she was like, you should try the such and such a show. And I was like, oh, tell me more. Sorry, I was thirsty. Tell me more. And so she did. She organizes the show, but it's a big show. Very professionally put together show. Very nice show. It's a 2-day show. It's in April. So we're talking, this isn't until next year. Next year, April. But she basically invited me to come to that show, saying it would be a good show for me to go to. So I took down her information and everything, got the name of the show written down. She told me of a couple other things that seemed quite interesting. So, I'm learning about other things while I'm at these shows. Um, when I was talking to the organizer of today's show, I was like, it would really be nice to be able to survey people. Like, what caught your eye at the show? What caught your eye? What were you buying? What were you interested in? Because that could be really helpful information. Because you never know. You never know. I mean, I have so many people that stop and look and touch and talk and tell you how beautiful your work is and how pretty everything is, but they don't buy anything. It's the weirdest thing. You feel like I thought a couple times for sure we had one on the hook. You know what I'm saying? And no, they talk and they pick up stuff and they look at stuff and they just walk away, you know? So it's hard to know. It's very, very hard to know what's gone through people's mind, why they choose to buy something, why they don't. Um, I don't know. Dale told me, so he went for a walk. Like he went for a longer walk. He went into town. We were on the back side of the town over at the park, and he went into town to get us lunch. And when he came back, he was telling me that there's other crafters over there on the main street, not the main street, but one of the streets in town also had crafters. And I was like, can you guys hear me? Am I here? Nobody's commented in a while. I'm like, oh. Okay, Margie says, okay, yeah. Um, but there was also crafters in town, you know? I'm like, oh, well, I didn't know they were doing that. He goes, I didn't either, but they're over there. So a little bit later, he said, yeah, go for a walk. Go on over there. Well, by the time I went over there was nothing there. And you could tell most of the traffic that was coming over to the park was walking traffic. You could see them come up through the grass, like there's a bridge that goes over the river. Because this town is on an island. The center of town, the businesses and the main street and all of that stuff is literally surrounded by water. It's surrounded by the river. The river splits there, and the town is literally surrounded by the river. All right. We were on the other side of the river, so we weren't on the island part. But you could watch them walk across the bridge to coming across the river as they're coming from the town part where the stores are and everything. And you can watch them walk up over the bridge. So you knew they were coming. They were walk-ins from, somewhere in town. Well, when I got over there was nothing there. Nobody was there. Apparently, their part of the festivities was done and over by the time I walked over there. But um, maybe people went there, um, didn't come over to the park, or they went over there first, spent their money over there first. You just never know. Anyhow, like I said, it's all a learning experience, and you take away from it what you can. You know, Dale, having lived in this town for his whole marriage, and raising his children, he lived in that town. Hello, Turtle Joy. Turtle Joy, hello. Um, he's very familiar with the town, and he knows people that live there. Today, he had two people. No, three. Three people stop and talk to him because he knew them. They were friends or friends of friends or people that used to live nearby him or whatever, you know? So he was just having himself a little social event today, just chit chatting with people that he knew, which good for him. I didn't grow up in that town. I never lived in that town. I don't know that town. I mean, I do know the town, but, not intimately, like, having lived there or anything. And he did for, oh man, I don't even know how long. Uh, a while. He lived there for quite a while. So, um, 25, 27, I don't know, that many years. I don't know. Something like that, anyhow. So, yeah, he had fun though. I mean, and then a couple times though he said, I could have had all the lawn mowed by now. I'm like, yep, you could have. I said, but look at it this way. You are spending some quality time with your wife that doesn't involve doctors. Because my joke is our last few dates have involved the emergency room. So today was a beautiful day. Absolutely beautiful. Um, nice temperature and all that. However, I will say there was a breeze. Let's call it a breeze. However, sometimes the breeze would be a little more of a stronger gust and things would blow over. Things would just blow over. Um, I had one thing that blew over like 3 times. Another thing blew over a couple times. So when the gusts would come, you had, okay, I hate it when that happens. Like this drill was stuck on the side of my pen and I didn't know it was there. So I go to multi-place the 4 that I had and they don't go down right because that stinking one got in the way. Do you know what I mean? Why was it stuck on the side of my pen? This I don't know. This I don't know. Get off there. Why were you attached there causing a problem? Anyhow, yeah, date that did not involve the hospital. So that was refreshing. And he walked into town and he bought me pizza. So I'm like, okay, I have pizza. I still have pizza. I'll probably have some pizza after my live. Dale was like, well, you're not set out for a while. And I'm like, yeah, it's just pizza. It's just pizza. Do you know how many times I've eaten pizza that set out like after school? Brandy asked me this question recently. They had pizza at her school and they had leftovers and told her she could take one home. And she's like, do you think it's still good to eat? I mean, it's kind of set out. And I'm like, it's pizza. I used to take home pizza all the time from school when we had leftover. See, it did it again. Gosh darn it. Why is it doing that? Why is one little bugger getting stuck and causing me a problem? Why are you doing that? Driving me nuts. I don't have like wax on the edge of my pen or anything. Why is that sticking there? I'm oh boy. So I have no problem eating this pizza. It didn't sit out that long. And I mean, what's going to be bad about it? What could possibly be bad about the pizza, right? I don't know. Nothing. Dale is doing okay. So, yeah. He went to the urologist. He's supposed to have an ultrasound now. Check on his little kidney friend there. Uh, However, they didn't call. The people that are supposed to do it didn't call to schedule it for him. So that hasn't been scheduled even. Then he had a appointment with his. It's not. Well, it's not a regular physician. He's a PA, but he did Dale's physical. They talked about it. They talked about other things. They talked about blood pressure. They talked about this and that and the next thing. They talked about cholesterol because high cholesterol runs in Dale's family. And he has been on, the statins before to control his high cholesterol, and he won't do it anymore. He hates it. He says it causes more problems. He's not going to do it. So he's going to just try to combat this with diet and exercise. Okay. All right. He is not having too much pain anymore from the kidney stone. So it's not really causing him a problem right now. So he doesn't know if it's still there, if it's gone, if it's not gone. Who knows? Hard to tell. If they schedule that ultrasound sometime in the near future, I guess he'd know. But he's up doing stuff. So the other day, the farmer down the road, and he'd asked him quite a while ago about helping him set up a tent sometime this week for an open house that was going to be held at his house for one of his grandkids. Well, Dale was down there one day this week doing all kinds of interesting things like mowing, looking for groundhog holes because the groundhogs, the woodchucks, had been making a mess. He didn't want any of his guests, to trip in a hole and break something. So Dale was just doing some basic stuff. That must have been, I don't know, Tuesday, Wednesday. I can't remember which day. The tent business still wasn't done until yesterday. Yesterday, he calls him up and he's like, hey, just wondering about, I got these tables and chairs to pick up that I rented. Wondering if maybe you could help me with that and then help me set up this tent. So Dale goes to pick up the tables and the chairs from the rental place with his truck and his trailer. Then he goes down there and they set up the tent. There was some discussion about where the tent should go. A little difference of opinion, I suppose, until there was a lady there that kind of agreed with Dale's idea of where the tent should go versus his idea of where it should go. Anyhow, the tent went up. And Dale did some more stuff. He was there for, he's been there for hours and hours and hours down there doing stuff to prepare for this open house. It's kind of like the guy decided, I'm going to have all these people here. I'm not ready for all these people to be here. Lots of times I think people get ready for an open house and they spend months and months and months, doing yard work and planting plants and, making everything all nice and whatnot before the open house. This guy decided to do it in like 2 days. So anyhow, Dale was down there a good 2 days this week for sure, helping him basically get ready for the open house. And then Dale told him, he said, I am not available on Saturday at all. So, and then get this. The guy's leaving Monday, late Monday afternoon. He's leaving for 10 days. He's leaving for 10 days. So now he's asked Dale about keeping an eye on the farm, making sure the horses have water. They probably don't need hay and food because, they're all out on grass right now. But just check on them. Make sure they got water, Make sure everybody's staying home where they're supposed to be. That kind of stuff. So, looks like Dale's going to be farm sitting now for 10 days after Monday. There's always something. Always, always, always something. Like a friend called the other day and they were like, hey, what are you up to? I got a cousin or something's got a whole bunch of scrap metal. Wondered if you wanted to go pick it up, turn in the scrap metal. Dale was like, sure. Do you want to go with me? Show me where it's at. So that's what they did one day. They went and he got all this scrap metal and took it and hauled it in and cashed it in. And, summertime is Dale's time to shine. It is his time to shine. The other night, we went out to the flower garden. He rototilled the vegetable garden again because, weeds had grown up again. We got so much rain for a couple days. The weeds just grew. Well, they grew like weeds, So he rototilled the vegetable garden again so he could plant the vegetable garden. And then he went and he rototilled my flower garden again so I could plant flowers. After he was done rototilling, I got some new glads. I wanted to plant some new glads. Who is that? Oh my goodness. I think that's the big orange cat. One moment. Oh, I just unplugged my phone. One moment, please. Well. Yep, that's the big orange cat. Big orange cat was right there on my deck, on the steps. My boys are out. So, every time that cat is around, we have some issue with that cat. I don't know where my boys are. All I know is they're outside. Big orange cat was up here. I walked out. Big orange cat went running. He's now out at the edge of the woodsy area, which is probably where my boys are. So, I don't want any kitty fights out there. But what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Oh boy. Wish me luck. Hope that nothing happens out there. I don't know why he comes around here and causes problems. If you're going to come around, be nice. That's one thing. But, him and Sonny got into it one time. Him and Smokey got into it. That was like maybe a week ago. They were out there in the woods carrying on. Smokey come running up to the house. Oh boy. Now Misty's sitting at the back door. Like, I don't know if she can see him out there or what, but she's sitting at the back door looking out. Ay, ay, ay. And Dale's gone. Dale is not here. This weekend was something called Gizzard Fest in my little town here. And I've talked about this before, but if if you haven't been here for this Gizzard Fest, there's a restaurant in town. It's called Joe's Gizzard City. And they make like world famous gizzards. Like Guy Fieri from Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives has been there twice and featured their gizzards on his show. And they do this little thing every June. Well, there was 2 years they didn't do it. There were 2 sad years they didn't have Gizzard Fest. But they have this festival. And it's, carnival rides, vendors with a bunch of cheap crap they're selling. Activities around town, a 5K run, gizzard eating contest, beer tent, the whole 9 yards. So keep a bucket of water handy. I can't even find them when they're out there in the woods, Brenda. I mean, I could find the orange cat, but all I have to do is walk out and he leaves. So, right? I can't find them. There's no way for me to just go find them. I don't know how to get them. Anyhow, so we went down for Gizzard Fest last night and walked around a little bit. And that's why I say these vendors are selling like a bunch of cheap junk. They're all selling kind of the same stuff, if that makes sense. Like hats and little toys and just the same kind of junky little vendory stuff. You know what I mean? But we had dinner down there. Okay, how come I can't find this symbol? What symbol are you? Where are you? Where are you? There it is. There it is. There it is. So we had dinner. We walked around. Didn't buy anything. Oh, but the kid that used to live across the street from Dale, when he lived out in Eden Rapids, he bought a house right there in town. It's right in the main part of town. Like, they close up the main street for this festival. The whole street is blocked off. The guy lives right on the main street, right? So he tries to get out of his driveway, and I mean, there's people walking up and down the road, and people selling hot dogs and their food wagons, and he's like, I hate this. I hate it. So we stopped and talked to him last night for quite a while. But yeah, so he went down there. Dale loves to get fresh squeezed lemonade, so he got himself a fresh squeezed lemonade. He asked his daughter about going down to Gizzard Fest, and she basically said no. She didn't have money for that. No. So she wasn't going to go down there with the kids. Well, he texted her today and asked what she was doing, if she wanted to come over and see us. He'd also told her that we were going to be in their town. That's where she lives there. That we were going to be doing this craft show. And she said basically, no, she was busy. Okay. All right. She's busy. Well, then we're home or headed home or something. And she calls him and she's like, hey, are you still here? And he goes, here where? At the craft show? She goes, no, down at Gizzard Fest. And he's like, we're not at Gizzard Fest. We did that craft show today. And she's like, oh, I forgot. She's like, I thought you were at Gizzard Fest today. No. So she ended up going down to Gizzard Fest. And Dale was like, "Nope, we're just getting home. We got to get home, get things unloaded, blah blah blah. We're hot and tired." And so, guess where he's at now? He is down to Gizzard Fest to go hang out with her and the kids because he wants another lemonade. Basically, he wants another lemonade. And he did not get an elephant ear last night because we had dinner there and dinner was enough. We didn't need an elephant ear on top of it. You know what I'm saying? Didn't need an elephant ear as well. But I think he's going to go get a lemonade and an elephant ear. That's probably going to be his dinner. I'm probably going to have that leftover pizza. That's what I'll be having, that leftover pizza. Wish me well with that, right? Wish me luck with that. Anyhow. Mmm. Turtle joy. Okay. So an elephant ear, it's as big as an elephant's ear. It's a big old round hunk of dough, right? Big dough that they fry in oil, uh, and then it gets cinnamon sugar all over it. Or sometimes they put powdered sugar on them. Sometimes they put fruit on them, but they're so good. So, yes, Brenda, that was last weekend. They were going to go to dinner without me. Mm-hmm. But they didn't. But they didn't. I made them wait. I made them wait for me, remember? No, you may not leave without me. I want dinner too, right? I want dinner too. So I made them wait for me. And they did. They waited for me. And we went to dinner together, which was nice. All right, I swear the plus sign is over here somewhere. Where are you? I know you're here. Oh, it's further back than I thought. It's back here. Now we're getting into these orangey browns. They're more brown than anything. Okay, here's another thing. Here is another thing I have to talk about. They're so good. You've only had them in Michigan? Oh. Yeah, so funnel cakes. Funnel cakes are more like, how do you explain the difference? I call funnel cakes more like they're like little pieces of dough put together. They're more like little hunks and squigglies. Does that make sense? Where an elephant ear is just one great big dough, like a big puffed up tortilla, a big old puffed up tortilla, but with lots of sweet stuff on top of it. Hang on, one moment. I'm looking for any cats at all. Big orange cat, my cat. Do I see any cats? Any cat? No, I got a chicken in the fairy garden. Oh, Lord, you guys. Animals. I swear, animals. Love them, hate them. I mean, come on. Yep, there's a chicken sitting right in the bucket out there. My blue wash tub. And there's one in the flower bed. Yeah, okay. So let's talk ducks. You want to talk ducks? Are fluffier or more cakey? Okay. Yes, that's a good description, Margie. Funnel cake is more spider webby. Yes. But they're all fried dough. They're all fried dough. Pie dough been fried. Now that's a good description too, Shannon. But they're all just fried dough. And they're all yummy. Sweet stuff on them. Just yum. Anyhow, that's what he wants. Lemonade and an elephant ear. Okay, you go for it. Okay, the ducks. Yesterday, Friday, Dale was gone most of the day. Down helping the farmer, right? And I'm home, did my crochet live with Angie. And I I call it tittle farting around. I find all kinds of little things to do. Like, I made phone calls yesterday. I worked on retreat stuff yesterday. I did my live. I crocheted. I went out to the flower garden. I watered my plants. I never did finish the story about the flower garden. Um, just tittle farted around, right? Well, I look out the window at one point and there's a semi, because we get those semis that go up and down our road all the time down to the pallet factory. And there's a semi and it's basically stopped out in the road. And that's when I realized it stopped because there are ducks in the road. And the scariest part was I could see the ducks, and then as the semi drove by, I couldn't see the ducks. So I'm like, are the ducks under the truck? Are the ducks just on the other side of the truck, on the other side of the road? I mean, what's going on? So the truck slowly ambles on by, and I go out the door. The ducks are on the far side of the road and they're just, I don't know, eating stuff, nibbling the gravel. I don't know what they're doing, but something. You know what I mean? Something. So I go out there and I usher them back onto the property, chase them back to the pond. A little while later, there's a car stopped in the road. I'm like, are you serious? And I can see the ducks again. Car goes on by, I head out again. The stupid ducks are in the road again. I did that 3 times. 3 times yesterday. I went out to the road to chase the same group of ducks back into the yard. Chased them all the way back to the pond. The 4th time, no, not 4th time, the 3rd time I went out with a broom because I was ready to go out there and get them with a broom. I was going after them with a broom. Well, they ran. They ran and they ran faster than I could get to them to swat them with the broom. I did throw the broom at them. I didn't hit them. I missed. I threw it a couple times. They were running fast though. I don't think they went back across the road after I threw the broom at them. But what is going on? I'm like, I keep thinking for sure we're just going to have a dead duck in the road here eventually because the ducks just keep going and playing in the road. This morning, since we were going to be gone all day, they need to be confined. They need to be grounded. They need to be grounded for a while, Shannon, not let out, right? Because we're going to be gone all day, they'll let them out before we left. And we had a few more things to put in the truck before we took off. And I look out and I'm like, I'll be darned if there aren't 2 groups of our ducks in the road. Oh my God, my phone is dinging. Why is my phone dinging? I mean, someone's messaging me. 2 groups of ducks in the road. I'm like, this is ridiculous. So Dale, now this is the scary part. Dale likes to chase them too and chase them back home, chase them back to the pond. However, Dale likes to chase them with the truck. And I'm like, Dale, stop. You're going to run over. You're going to hit somebody. He's like, if I hit one, I hit one. And I'm like, oh my God, he's going to run over a duck. I'm like, they can't run that fast. You can drive faster in your truck than they can run. I'm like, he hasn't hit one yet, but my fear is he's going to run one over someday, chasing them back home. I'm just like, ducks, cats, chickens, what in the world? What has my life become, right? Yeah. Yep, that's my life. That's my life. So while I'm just, doing my stuff around here, I'm duck sitting. I'm looking for ducks in the road so I can go chase ducks out of the road. I don't know. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So after Dale rototilled the flower garden and the vegetable garden, we went out and I planted those glads. I did tell you that. But then I also started putting down my carpet that makes the paths, my paths between the flower beds and stuff. So I got carpet down so I can walk around it now. And my zinnias that I'm growing in the greenhouse are ready to be planted, but I'm like, well, I didn't feel like planting them. That must have been Thursday. I didn't feel like planting them after that. I wanted to come in and just diamond paint for a while and watch Bad Sheep Yarn live. I love watching Bad Sheep Yarn live. I love watching that. So, I didn't want to go plant, and he wanted to go plant, and I was like, not tonight, just not tonight. But he went out and he planted the vegetable garden. He did the trash. He has bagged up all of the ashes from the fire pit into feed bags, and they're going out with the garbage. So he took those out. And I didn't know it, but he planted the vegetable garden. And I'm like, okay, well, you were ambitious. You planted your vegetable garden. I said, I'll get to my flowers probably Sunday. I'll plant my flowers on Sunday because, I didn't feel like doing it Thursday night. Friday night, we were going to the Gizzard Fest. And Saturday, we were going to be gone most of the day. So Sunday sounds like a good day to plant to me. Now watch it rain. I mean, we are supposed to have a chance of rain. Oh, did you hear that? We do have a chance of rain. I don't know if it'll rain or not. But tomorrow, I think he plans on going to his daughter's house and working on a flower box that she has out in front of her house. Okay. All right. You have fun with that. I don't know. We'll see what tomorrow holds when tomorrow is here. You know what I'm saying? When tomorrow's here, we shall know. Until then, there's no telling. That's the life of retirement, If you don't do it today, there's always tomorrow. And what's the rush? What's the rush? Look, I am making good progress here. Look how much progress I'm making. I've made decisions on the hair, what I'm going to do to the hair. And look at my purse. Look at my purse. It's coming around, isn't it? It is coming around. Yep. Oh, and there I got one of those extra drills again. They just like stick to something and they just come and cause a problem. Stop it. I think it's because I leaned my pen over a little, you know what I mean? Like I tilted, it's not straight up and down, and they just attach and hang on. Come along for the ride. Everything was so peaceful during our nap because I don't think I ever went to sleep. I know I didn't go to sleep, but I did lay there and get comfortable. And so did two cats. Two cats got very, very comfortable. Mr. Sunny and Ms. Misty were both laying like at our feet, and they were just passed out. They were happy, relaxed cats. I don't know how happy and relaxed they are now because they're out there dealing with, the stranger danger. We got stranger danger out there. I will go out there in just a minute or two. See if I can find them. See if I can, find any sign of trouble. I don't know. In the past, when they've encountered the cat, they come running up to the house like lickety split because, they know they're safe up here. But I haven't seen, oh, there's Smokey. Smokey's out there. Okay, let me go get Smokey boy. Sonny, I don't know. Sonny is, I don't know. He's a little more wily coyote, Well, both my boys are right here on the steps, and neither one of them will come in. They're both looking at me like, no, we're not coming in. I wonder if I get treats. Can I get them in with treats? Are you guys still there? Can you hear me? I'm going to get some treats. See if I can get these boys in. Hang on. I got one. I got one. I got one. Thank you for being a good boy. Here. Here. You can have some treats. Here you go. There you go. And you know what? I got the problem child. I got the hard one. I got Sonny in. Smokey's still out there on the deck, like hiding from me. But he won't go very far. Smokey won't go very far. But I got Sonny in. That was a win. That was a win for me. A win, a win, a win. I will get this done by month's end. I'm hoping so, Sue. I really hope so. You crashed at 9, woke up at 11:30, saw Tima, fell back asleep. There are nights that I am, now Smokey's at the door. He says, oh, they're having treats. Oh, hang on. Hang on. All right, come on. Come on, big boy. Come on, big boy. Come on. Come on. Oh, yay. We are all in, safe and sound. All right. We are safe and sound. Whew. I don't know if they encountered him while they were out and about, but they're in now. He can be bribed. Yes, he can. He can be bribed. Yep. Am I done with this color? I think I'm done with this color. I just shook them up again, but I think I'm done with it. Yep, I was done. I was done with those. Okay. All right. Well, I feel so much better. My boys are safe. And they seem unscathed. All right. Unscathed. But they were really ready to come in, except for Smokey. He wanted to be a little hard to get in. They know that cat's out there. You can tell they know. I need both of these colors. I need the S and I need the U. Yes, I do. The S and the U. And see that little thing that's on the purse over there? I don't know what it is. It doesn't look like anything there. I don't know what it is. Right? No idea. Oh boy. I have to diamond paint more, Sue. That's what I have to do is I have to diamond paint more. Otherwise, I won't finish. I won't finish if I don't diamond paint. Crocheting, I'm so enjoying crocheting. Much more so than diamond painting right now. I don't know. Angie said a weird thing yesterday in our live. It was very weird, very strange. She said, I am fixed on diamond painting right now. She said, I can't see doing anything else. I don't want to cross stitch. I don't want to crochet. I'm like, you what? What? Say what? You know? She said, I haven't crocheted in days. I'm like, what? That made no sense to me. Made absolutely no sense to me. But, oh, I don't know. I guess people go through phases. Right now, I'm in a crochet phase. I mean, I'm enjoying this one because it's rounds, so it's going faster. If I don't screw it up again, if I don't make any more major mistakes that, cause me grief and time, precious, valuable time, I can get more of this done. But no more mistakes, Mindy. No more mistakes. Just stick to the plan. Do what you need to do. Get it done. Get her done. She is a her. Get her done. Right? Well, I have just run my mouth. I hate it when I do that. It probably is a charm, but a charm of what? Of what, Joe? What is it? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, the other night, I swear, I was awake every 2 hours. Sometimes it was me, you know, I'd have to get up and go to the bathroom. And the other times it was the dogs. It's never the cats. The cats don't bother me at night because they're downstairs. They're in their little kennel and they're asleep. They don't bother us at night. But between the dogs and me having to go to the bathroom, it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. It was literally every 2 hours I was awake. Thankfully, I can go back to sleep pretty easily most of the time. And I did. I went back to sleep pretty quickly, but dang, why? Why every 2 hours being awake? It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Let me say it again. Ridiculous. Okay? So, and like I said, today when we laid down to take a nap, I did not fall asleep. I was tired. I thought I was tired. I thought I would go to sleep. Did I? No. Dale lays down and it's like boom, boom. Out go the lights. And he's done. He's gone. Um, he wakes up and he says, well, how long were we out? And I'm like, about a half an hour. You were asleep. He goes, oh, yeah, I wasn't asleep. I was never asleep. And then at 5:45, I had an alarm go off. Okay, it's bad. It's bad when you set alarms to go purchase things. I'm not going to tell you what I purchased. I'm not going to tell you. You'll figure it out. Something was going on sale at 6 o'clock, so I set an alarm 5:45. Make sure I was awake and alert and didn't forget, because sometimes this stuff just flies off the shelves, and then I'd be mad at myself if I didn't get it. Do I need it? Absolutely not. Do I want it? Absolutely. Hi, Smoke. What are you doing, buddy? Huh? What are you doing? Mr. Smoky Boy. What are you doing? Don't climb my leg under my table. Don't climb my leg. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing, big boy? Come here. Come here. Now he walks away and stands where I can't reach him. Hi, come here. Come here. Oh, big boy. Oh, he is. I weighed him the other day, you guys. 14 pounds. 14 pounds a cat. Mm-hmm. You're like, are you wet? Is it dew? Your fur seems to be wet. Hi. Oh, that's a burr. I know you got a burr. Being long haired the way he is, he collects everything. He collects. Really? Your animals want it out every 2 hours? Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. It was crazy though. I'll do that sometimes, Shannon. I'll just get up. I'll just get up out of bed and I'll either come out in the living room and read. Most of the time I read because reading will make me sleepy. Okay? Where crochet doesn't make me as sleepy as reading does. If I want to actually go back to sleep, I'll read. But hi, I got my boy. Did you see Mr. Orange Cat out there today? He looks at me. Did you see Mr. Orange Cat today? Did you? I don't know. I'm certain I didn't scare him very far away. He doesn't run from me too far. I got some good video of the orange cat, though. That'll come up in the farm video that I do next. Got the orange cat. Yep. He's a big old fluffy boy. I think it's a boy. I mean, can't tell for sure, but I would think he's a tomcat just the way he acts. You know what I mean? Sometimes he's asleep on our couch on the deck. Mm-hmm. I've caught him out there. Turned on the lights to let the dogs out one night. There he was. Whoop, hopped down and took off. Yeah. Today, though, he thought he was going to be slick. He hopped down and he went under the deck. And I didn't see him leave the other side of the deck. I didn't see him go anywhere. So I went stomping across the deck. And then he took off out the back side and went running across the yard. He thought he was going to just stay under the deck. Mm-hmm. I called his number. I did. All right, everybody. Well, I've talked and talked some more. So, come next week because we're going to do our first giveaway for the Craftably event. Kara and Brandy will be here. We'll do the giveaway at the front of the live so that they can go on with their evening, you know. But come show up and see who wins the Craftably from Kara. Kara's giving hers away. Oh, now Smokey's going to sit here and look out the window. I got to get up, though. Mm-hmm. I have to get up and go hit the button on my phone. Sorry. Goodness. Can we go? Can we say goodbye to people? Do you want to see them first? Hello, Claus. Hello, Claus. Let me move these drills. Let's see if we can say hello. Sunny makes an appearance a few times. Here. Say hello. Let's see if we can. See if we can say hello to everybody. I doubt it. I don't think I can get you in there. Hello. No, don't jump on the don't jump on the diamond painting. No, don't jump on my diamond painting. No, don't do that. 14 pounds of chunk-a-lunk boy. Big boy. Here, say hi. Say hi. Look in the camera. Say hello. Say hello. Oh, you got the leg. Sorry. All right. We're going to go. I'm going to go eat pizza. And I'm going to put him down. Big fatty boy. All right. I will talk to everybody later. Have a great night. And have a good week. Okay? You'll hear from me on Wednesday. But have a good time until Wednesday. All right? Okay. See you guys.